run smooth all the time, because that's what Apple's trademark is. I would expect it not to break if I dropped it, because, I mean, Android, I know they break when you drop, but Apple, supposedly they don't.
This one's pretty resilient.
Yeah, I dropped mine and the speaker kind of rattles every once in a while, but
that's about
pretty much it.
I expected my phone to make all my dreams come true. Like you said, it just makes life a lot more convenient. Like, after my first iPhone took a swim, I was like, oh, I don't need to buy another one. I was like, then I was going to go somewhere I'd never been. I was like, how do people get to places without their iPhones? But, yeah, it's, like, my expectations were just to be almost as good as a computer, and it's met that. I felt exceeded.
Alright, what's your very favorite feature on your phone, or like the one feature that you don't think that you could really live without? I mean, besides like making I guess, or something.
3G.
Anything unique. Yeah.
Just being able to access the internet in general. Do everything through that.
yeah, all the apps that ran through the internet, so phone would be pointless without the internet, basically.
Yeah. Without Wikipedia, and being able to get that on my phone, I feel like I wouldn't be half as smart as I am today. You hear anything, you just type it in like, oh.
Those of you without a smartphone, what's like the one, I don't know, app or feature that you really wish that you had on your phone?
I don't know, I guess email would be really nice. That's about it. I mean, I can do without Angry Birds and all.
Just wait till you try it.
What was that?
For me, like I like a video call.
Oh, video call?
Yeah,
Okay.
to see somebody.
Robbie?
Well, I mean, I do have a smartphone. I guess, like, the accessibility to news, just because I'm obsessed with that. And I feel like sometimes when you have random small chats with people, it's really cool to have random conversations about the news, because if you don't know someone, you can just, you know, connect, I guess. So it's something I feel like I want.
Okay. Do you think that either the Droid or the iPhone is your ideal phone, or if not, like, what else would you want your phone to do?
I think the iPhone is pretty great if I could just, the syncing issue with my music, 'cause I don't really believe in paying for music. I don't pay for music since I was 12. Don't tell this to anybody. But that, and just like, just the expenses of apps, like, you know, on the Android network, they're free, and there's, you know, apps that aren't approved by Apple over there and stuff. So just those few things. Just basically Apple locking it up. They're kind of like, don't roll them out.
Can you repeat the question? I'm like,
Yeah. And what is your ideal phone, and if not, what is it missing?
well, like, I feel like since I don't own an iPhone, that would be my ideal one, just because I know that it has a Skype feature, and I have like friends from, well, like all on the West Coast, but they all live spread out. So I've heard that the newest iPhone has it like Skype more improved, so that's probably most likely one of the reasons why. And I know a lot of people use it for interviews and etc. So Skype is definitely something new.
Which one do you think, do you expect to be more or less expensive, and why?
I expect the Droid to be less because there's like 5 companies that make it, and it's provided across multiple carriers, where I guess the iPhone is now across multiple carriers now, but Apple's the only one that makes it, so they're able to charge a premium for their name that other companies can't afford to do if they want to make any money.
Do you guys think that Apple can make their phones more expensive just because they kind of rule that market?
Yes.
Yeah, you pay
Very
mostly.
transparent.
I feel like you pay for their name You do get more service with their products too, if they break within a certain period of time. I have like the Apple Care for my computer, and it's been fantastic. You know, I got new batteries, new power cords, all sorts of things that wore out within that time period. So I feel like you're also paying for that service as well.
I definitely feel there's going to be people who will still buy iPhones even if they did jack the price up, but since the Android and the iPhone are so similar, I feel like they lose a good amount of the market share that they currently hold.
How much more do you think you would pay to have an iPhone versus a Droid if they did the exact same thing?
Well, like, I remember, I mean, I don't know when Droid first came out, but I remember when the first iPhone came out, we were willing to pay $600. And I remember they'd be making lines, and I mean, I've never heard of such thing for the Droid. I mean, I'm not saying I dislike it or anything, but people go a long way doing stuff for iPhone or to get one, so I have higher expectations.
So you guys think the name is a big buying factor? Yeah.
Definitely. And I think, yeah, if you know the type of service that you get along with it, just being able to replace it if it breaks. I mean, obviously, if you take a swim with it, it's different for getting it replaced for free. But if it's something, you know, that's covered in that plan, I would be willing to pay, you know, 50% more, because I know that I'll end up making money in the end if I need to get a new phone.
All of you guys that have Apple phones, do you think that you did that just because your friends have them, or just because you wanted to be like the cool person that has the iPhone?
Definitely not. It just seemed like it was way more accessible, because when I bought a Blackjack, like having it set up, everything just kind of seemed complicated. I mean, I've never set up an Android, but with Apple, it's so like clear and cut, and they have a large support network, and everybody has them. Like, that wasn't a driving factor, but if you needed help setting it up, you could ask anybody who had one, which is not hard to find. That definitely contributed.
Do you think external forces like your friends having one is a big thing, or is it just your own opinion?
Well, I'd say it was for me, for sure. I'm kind of the impulse buyer. So, I mean, I went in there and told myself I wanted a Droid, and the first thing he showed me was this iPhone for like $200. And I'm like, cool. Just didn't even shop around. But like, all my friends always play all these games on iPhone and stuff, and so I was like, well, then I could do all of that. So yeah, I'll definitely say that's a big influence.
I'm not an iPhone user, owner, but I feel like it would be both, just because you could, you could have friends that all of a sudden be interested in a product, but you first wait to see like what it's all about and then be influenced by them.
And what age group do you think most iPhone users are, and what about Android users, and do you think that it's like a wide range, or do you think it just depends on the person?
The current iPhone range, it seems like it's almost a majority of college students have it, but it seems as though the age range is really expanding. It's like my parents who don't really know how to use phones, I want them to get into the iPhone. My dad, I was like, you don't know how to text, like, why would you need it? But some, like, it's just, I think word of mouth is, and so many people have iPhones that it's becoming more popular with people who it wasn't initially popular to, or had an interest in.
I think it's really wide, just because since it has so many options and it's so diverse, it can get anyone from like 17 to 50. Like, for example, my boyfriend's dad, his company always has, like, he has a phone through them, and they're always constantly updating him, so currently has an iPhone, so I think it's
No? Okay. This is a little bit off topic, but we just wanted to ask this question. Do you think that maybe the death of Steve Jobs and the coming out of the iPhone, the 4S, do you think that would